Okay, we're live.
Okay, hey guys, welcome to Touch the Clutch. This video is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a talking video, no action. But I'm going to be talking about the experience I had of trying to buy a new car. So, I wanted to buy a new car because I was tired of fixing my old cars. And I was tired of driving the Nissan, you know, the Nissan Pathfinder. So I wanted to buy an Audi Rs5. It was a 2014 Audi Rs5. And how I came about that decision was, we were outside, me, Mikola, and Belik, my friends, were chilling outside, and then they're like, "You'll sell the Nissan, it's a piece of crap." And I was like, yeah, it is a piece of crap, because I drove Mikola's Q8 for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, this feels like a normal car, like I need a new car now. So then I went on Auto Trader that night, and I found this Rs5. I'll show I have a screenshot of the listing, but it was listed, I don't remember now, but let's just say 23K. Like, it was listed for 23K. It was a white Rs5,
Which was very cheap.
very cheap. It's like 15K below market.
Okay. How many kilometers?
111.
Okay.
So very low kilometers.
Were you suspicious at all? Why it's so low?
Well, I knew it will have an accident on it, because there's no way it's this cheap.
Yeah.
Or it's stolen. Like,
yeah.
I had two things. So then I contact the seller. I'm like, hey, is this car available? And I wouldn't like really consider an Rs5 like for its full value for like 35 to 40K, but for 23 I was like, it's worth getting like taking a shot and looking at it. So I texted the seller. I'm like, hey, is it available? And the guy replied in the morning. He's like, yeah, it's available. And he was texting me normally like a civilized person. He was like, yeah, it's available. And I was asking him, hey, can I come see it tonight? And then he told me he's in Barrie, and we're in Toronto, so it's like an hour drive. So I knew like I can't go there alone, and I can't go there with any car guys, because they will like make me buy that car. So I was like, okay, I'll do the right decision. I'll like ask my dad to come with me, because he's like completely neutral about cars. Like, he wants me to have a nice car, but he doesn't want me to like play around with cars and fix them and spend time on them. So I was like, I'll get my dad to come look at it. I asked my dad, he was cool with it. So I asked the buyer before, like the seller, I talked to him, and so I get a text message, and it's this, I don't know who it was at first, but then, I don't know how I got his name. Maybe I Googled his number or something. And I found his like LinkedIn or whatever. It was like this African-American guy, like texting me pretty like civilized, because I was worried the car's gonna be like owned by some young guy who's gonna like abuse it. Then he seemed older. His voice was deep. I was like, okay, he's definitely older. He seemed like to reply like well, so I was like, okay, I'll take a shot. And then I asked him, can I take this car to a mechanic before I see it, because it's all the way in Barrie? Sorry, can I take this car before buying it, because it's all the way in Barrie? I don't want to spend an hour of my time driving. He's like, yeah, no worries, like you can do that. Okay, so I go there with my dad. We drive up there. I get there, the car's parked outside. It looks very nice, like very clean, like on the outside. Oh, and before that, so the guy was really honest on the text messages. I asked him like, is there any accidents? He said like, yeah, there's 2 accidents in the car. And then he sent me pictures, and I'll show you the pictures. Okay, so this is the conversation that I had with him. So he texted me, hello, are you still interested in the Audi Rs5? And it's gonna be on the screen. And then I said, morning, yes, I was sleeping, please call me when you get a chance. And then he sends me like these documents, and this is the repair for the car. It's $45,000 accident.
So that's a 45K claim.
45K claim. And I've asked some guys I know in the insurance industry, they asked them like, would an insurance company like do repairs on the car, like this car, like I found like its MSRP is like 60K or 65.
Yeah.
Would they do a claim for 45K on a car that's 65 to 70K? They said no, like they will most likely total
this claim.
This was, I think it was 4 years ago.
No chance. No chance that they would do that, because 4 years ago the car was worth 40K.
Exactly.
Like it stayed the same.
So like
value.
I started like figuring out like there's an insurance like fraud going on, Which honestly, like, I don't have like, it's not the worst for a buyer of the car, because you know the car wasn't as badly like damaged
Yeah.
if it was fraudulently fixed just to get money back. And he sent me these pictures. This is what he sent me. He sent me he's saying this was the first accident.
Yeah.
So he bent a rim. That's all he sent me. And then this is the second accident for 45K.
No way.
So pretty much.
That's crazy.
And then he sent me, that's the second accident repair. It was 5K. So 5K was the rim one. I was like, okay, like that's maybe possible if he damaged some other things. But 45K, he said he ran over this.
Yeah, this curb.
So I think he went over 4 wheels, like with all 4 wheels at night. And like he damaged the under tray of the engine, I believe, or like something like
maybe oil pan.
Oil pan. So because it has like radiator change, that stuff. But like no way it's 45K damage. Like that actually looks like a 15 to 20K claim, like worst case, not 45. So I was like a little bit suspicious, and like I was asking my friends like, what do I do? And they're like, straight up ask him like, was this an insurance fraud? So I go up, and it's like, I get there, and it's like this huge guy like greets me, like he's very tall, like very big. And then my dad asks him like, what do you do for a living? Like, because he has a house, he has a Model Y, he has a RS5, and he says he's a bouncer in a club. And I'm like, no way, like a bouncer at a club is making this much money to afford a house, 2 cars, and stuff like this. So like my theory now is like, I'm in my head, I'm like, okay, this guy's definitely doing something illegal, like to make this money. So like it's most likely an insurance claim.
Yeah.
Like insurance fraud, which I'm okay with. Like I don't care, like that's his business. And then what I also did before, I called the company here that's on this repair bill, and like the number's not available anymore.
So the company doesn't
They're
exist.
out of business now.
Okay. Makes
And
sense.
like reviews are garbage. Like I'll also add the reviews like for you to see. And I called the company, like numbers out of service anymore.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, this company was scamming people. This guy probably did insurance claim.
Possibly not even one.
They probably did 2, both
Multiple.
of them. Like honestly, I think he got into an accident, actually got in an accident, and then he found ways to like
keep the car and and make money on it.
But he was like in a rush to sell, which was a little bit scary to me. There was like a lot of red flags. And this is why I'm telling this story, because like it's just so crazy, and I want to like share it so that like people give me opinions. Like, was it a good choice? I didn't buy it. Bad choice. So when I get there, the car has like brand new tires. It has Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, and like they don't look like they've been driven on. Like brand new. And he tells me that he loves the car completely, like he's in love with it, like he always gets it fixed completely, but rear quarter panel has rust on it.
Okay.
So if you're already doing a claim for 45K, why do you not have the fraudulent shop fix a rust spot? Like, you know, like on the rear quarter, like that will cost like $300 to add. And they were adding like everything on that claim. So why not actual like rust?
Okay, that's weird.
It was weird. And then I'm looking at the car, I'm like walking around, and I see one of the rear tires is flush with the car, like perfect fitment, and the left one is like an inch in. What, like it's just inside of the fender.
What the fuck?
And then like I was like, what the fuck? Like I was exactly like, I was, what the fuck? And
was it maybe not on like even ground, or
no,
was it just like
I thought that
actual fitment?
I reparked the car and it was the same. So I think one of the rear wheels had camber like in, and the other one was straight.
Okay, so one had positive, one had negative.
So no, like one was probably good and the other one was cambered in. And like that started like throwing like a lot of red flags for me, because first rust, then guy who like works as a bouncer affords these cars, then third is like the wheel is like bent in, and I'm looking like the tires are brand new, so like the car's not driven.
Yeah.
Like, and like why would you put tires and then sell it right away? Like that also doesn't make sense. So I'm like talking to him, and then I look at the car in the bottom. It has a little bit of rust, and I'm like, okay, let's just like expect. Like it was a Montreal car too before, so it has rust on the. So it's not like a perfect car on the underneath. The interior is okay. It looks actually like 111K kilometers. Like the kilometers didn't look like rolled back. The sound system was absolutely amazing. Like I was like mind blown. Maybe like I was like just using the Nissan sound system and the E46, but like when he played his music, I was like, yo, that's like so impressive.
Did he play some gangster music?
He did. He was. I think he is a gangster.
Maybe.
He's part of like some gang for sure. But so this guy is like, yeah, let's go for a drive. Like I told him, let's go for a spin. Let's see. And then he takes me for a spin in the neighborhood, and this was like another red flag, which probably why I didn't buy the car from him, just because he like did not seem like a serious person. He was test driving the car with me. He rolled stop signs, like not even like 10 kilometers an hour rolled, like 30 kilometers an hour rolled stop signs.
Oh, so he just went through. He like tapped the brake before.
Like, tapped and then just went, or like he braked because it was a corner, like that type of stuff. Nice. And then it was his residential neighborhood, and he was going like 120, 130 kilometers an hour. Like it was a wide street, but it's a 40. And like he's flying through this like neighborhood, and there's like children playing on like the
playground.
Not playgrounds, but they're like driveways. And then he pulls over, and then like I asked him like, do you always drive this aggressively? And then he's like, oh, like this car's like kind of meant to be driven like this. But like honestly, if you're trying to sell a car, don't drive it fucking aggressively. Like don't show that you've abused it.
You drive normally, and then like once or twice you just do a pull just to see, to get someone interested.
Or like you let the driver, like the buyer, drive it aggressively. That's fine. And then I drove the car. I didn't even drive it as hard as him. Like I was actually like, I was just cruising because I was like, I kind of lost all my interest. And then when we pulled over, I asked him. Sorry, I didn't ask him. He's like, oh, by the way, if you buy this car, I wanna like I wanna know I can buy it back from you in half a year. Like, if I tell you I wanna buy it, like you have to sell it to me. That's what he said. He's like, if I wanna buy the car back in half a year, you have to sell it to me. And I was like, I'm not gonna buy a car and then sell it to you in half a year. Like I'm like, that's not how it works. And he's like, but that's how it has to be, like with this car. And I'm like,
so he was like serious.
Yeah, like
it wasn't like a joke.
No, he was like straight up. Like he looked into my eyes. He was like, if you want to buy this car, I need to know that I will be like, if I want to buy it, you will sell it back to me. And I was like, no, I can't do that. Like if I want to buy a car, it's my car. And then that was one thing that was like, what the fuck is this guy talking?
You think maybe he's getting rid of his assets for like a reason?
Yeah, I think he maybe got no. I think why he probably got into some like financial trouble. So he wants to just like get cash quick, but he knows he's gonna make money back eventually, and that's why he has
in some illegal ways.
In some illegal ways, so he wants to have the opportunity to buy it back because like.
Okay, so because his troubles are just temporary.
Temporary, yeah, basically. Because maybe like he just got like.
Okay.
But like
this is so sketchy, dude.
So sketchy, right? But like it kind of like this comment made me kind of think like, hey, maybe the car's actually good because he wants to buy it back. So I was like, I'll buy it and then I'll just block him and whatever. Like he won't find me ever. Like how is he gonna find me? My address is like he's not gonna find me in a condo. Like whatever. And then we were discussing, and I'm like talking to my dad. My dad's like it's not a good car to buy. Like he's gonna be like, you're always gonna be just fixing it. You're gonna be fixing it. But then I convinced my dad, like, and then my dad was already good with me buying it because I was like, look, like it's a good car, like 23K, like I can resell it. Like even if I put 10K into it, like I'm still gonna be under market. And then like I kind of convinced my dad, like I could have bought it, like it was in my hands. And then I'm like talking to this dude, and we're just having a conversation. And I'm like, yeah, I just want to like car to daily in the winter because I have an E46 convertible. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna sell it to you if you're gonna winter it. And I'm like, yo, but I need a car for winter. I'm like, this car already has rust. It's been winter used. He's like, but I never winter drove it. Like you can't winter drive it. But I'm like,
damn.
I'm like, I need a winter car. Like he's like, then I won't sell it to you. And I'm like, just like, what the fuck is this guy going on about? Like if you want to get rid of a car, like it's not like his choice, like what I'm gonna do with the car. So that was kind of really annoying. And then like I'm like, let me talk to my dad for 10 minutes. He goes into his house. I'm talking to my dad. I'm like, yo, I don't know what the fuck this guy's like talking about. Like I will, like I'm like, the only way I'll buy this car is if I bring it to a mechanic and inspect it, and then I'll buy it. Okay. If everything's good with the car. Yeah. Like that's the only way. But everything else is like super sketchy. So then we're talking like in his driveway. Now the guy comes out. He starts smoking like a blunt. While like me and my dad are still standing, he just starts smoking like weed with us, like while selling the car. And then this guy, like, I think like, maybe he was like, he smoked it while we were still talking, but he was just started talking like full on fucking nonsense.
Like what?
Like, he was just like, he's like willing to sell me the car, but at the same time, no. Like, I did not understand if he wants to fucking sell me the car or not. He was like, yo, I can't sell you the car because you're gonna drive it in the winter. But at the same time, he was like, yeah, I can do 23K for the car. And then he even fucking went down without me negotiating to 22K. He was like, yeah, I'll do 22K.
Oh.
But at the same time, he's like, yo, I can't sell it to you, this car, if I can't buy it back from you. And I'm like, I won't sell it back to you. Like, I told him I have plans to move to Miami. Like, the car won't be even here. And he's like, but I can't sell it to you like that. But then he's like giving me a price to buy it for. And I'm like, yo, the only way I'll buy this car off you is if I take it to my mechanic. He's like, no, you can't take it to your mechanic. He's like, I only serviced at Audi dealerships. And I'm like, you told me I can go bring it to my mechanic if I drive all the way here. He's like, no, I can't do that anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck are you like
that's
talking?
like the biggest red flag.
And then he was like, I can get it inspected at Audi dealership. And I'm like, okay, like, can we like go together to the Audi dealership? Like, can like I schedule the thing? He's like, no, like, I'll go alone and I'll just show you what like they say is wrong with the car. Because he started saying like, oh, the wheel like being in, he's like, it's bothering me because he's like, he didn't know about it, so I showed it to him, which I don't know if it's true or not, but he was like,
could be.
And he was like, I'll get it fixed regardless if I keep the car or sell it. But then at the same time, he was like, I'll keep the car or sell it, but he's like, I need it gone by the end of the weekend. Like, you know, like, he's like keeping the car, or now he has to get it. And he's like, do you want to buy it or not? Like, I'll have buyers pick it up regardless tomorrow. Like, it's a good price. But then he's like, I might keep the car and like fix it.
Well, he's right. It is a good price, but like, anyone in the right mind.
Like, I understand he was
like,
very contradicting. Like, he was just going back and forth with what he's gonna do with the car, if he's gonna sell it or not, if he's gonna. And he was telling me he loves this car completely and fixed it completely, but it had rust on the fender, which could have been fixed for $300. But then he put like tires for like $2,000 on it. Like, you don't fucking do that stuff.
Yeah, lots of like, not even red flags, just question marks. Yeah,
inconsistency.
Yeah.
And then he has all this stuff, but it works as the bouncer. Like, I don't think they make that much money.
No, they don't.
Right? Like, and that's
even if like you're making like good money as a bouncer, like what, 25?
And his accidents have so much like money, like 45K, but the car doesn't look damaged. Like, it's all inconsistent. And I asked him, like, was this an insurance fraud? Like, tell me straight up. Like, I don't care.
What do you say?
He was like, no, like. And then he also told me like, oh, it's a shop I know, and he told me an address, but it was different from the one that he sent me the invoice from. Like, he told me they're like in North York, but this shop like that he sent me to, he was like in East Toronto. Maybe they moved, that's possible, but like stuff like that happens, and like some inconsistencies are always going to be there if you sell a car.
Yeah.
Like, because like there's some stuff that people hide.
Lots,
but there's so much here. And then he was like 22K, and I'm like, look. And I talked to my dad. I'm like, look, I will pay for the inspection at Audi. It will cost like $300. I told him I will pay for it, but I need to know what's wrong with the car before I buy it. And then he's like, no, like, I'll do it myself. So like, what my friend told me, like Mikola, he said this guy probably will just fake the document, like PDF.
Or he probably has a contact at Audi.
Yeah.
It's easy, yo. He can just go to Audi, literally get it inspected, and just you can scan the document and then just edit.
Yeah. Like, you can do PDF
You
editors.
can do whatever you want.
Like, it's so easy.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I need to talk to them. He's like, no, I'll get you a paper like from them or whatever.
What's a paper?
Yeah. Like,
Papers like, it's worth nothing.
So I was like really thrown off in that. So I'm driving like home with my dad. Ooh, this is lighting. I'm driving home with my dad. I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna buy this car. There's no point like to waste my time, because like when he started driving aggressively, started smoking with us, and he doesn't want to have it like inspected at like Audi with me like being there, or like taking to my mechanic. Like, there's no point. Like, either your car is a fucking lemon. And I also told him my condition, because I thought the car may be stolen. Like, when I first like started chatting with him over text message, I told him like 2 conditions: I need to have it inspected at the mechanic before I buy it, and we transfer ownership at Service Ontario.
Okay, that's good. 2
conditions. He said for both, fine. That's why I was like, okay, good car. I go like waste an hour of my time driving there and then an hour back. So yeah, I decided not to buy the car, and this is what happens after. So I just I ignored him pretty much. And also what was weird, I talked to my insurance buddies and they said, why are there no interior pictures in the listing? He's like, cars always have interior listings.
Yeah,
that one
absolutely.
didn't, just
It didn't?
outdoors. Then I asked him for pictures, he did send them to me and the car looked identical.
Mhm.
But a little bit also weird. Like, why the fuck not put it? This guy just seems like either he's always fucking high.
I've seen some listings that where people literally just put their car on Auto Trader.
And he even
5
sent
pictures.
me, look, he sent me ownership and clean title. So the morning after, I just ignored him. I thought he took the, I thought he's gonna not book Audi if I don't want to see it. And he texted me in the morning. He's like, I made an appointment at Audi Barry for 10:45 a.m. tomorrow. We'll find out the results when they are done. And I was like, and that moment, I'm sitting in my car, I was just getting ready to work. And I was like, fuck, maybe I should buy it. Maybe the thoughts come back to you, rushing. You're like, fuck, it's my dream car. I want to get it. And I call my dad and I'm like, yo, fuck, he texted me. So maybe he does want to service it and actually go to Barrie, Ontario.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, yo, stop fucking with this.
Yeah.
It's not a good car. And then I was like, okay, I made up my mind. So I shot him a text. I was like, I'm going to pass on your car. I need something to daily drive for the winter and I don't want to upset you driving in the winter. Thank you for your time. Because honestly, I was about to say, your car's shit. You're fucking sketchy as fuck. But he wasted my time. But I don't want to be on bad terms with him. That's why
yeah, he looks
hopefully he doesn't
he
see
knows
this video.
some shit.
But I'm not leaking his info, so nothing should be.
What did he text you? Call me back.
He called me, I didn't pick up, and then he texted me, call me back, and I just ignored him.
I would imagine you were probably the only buyer that was that interested in that car.
No, because I also I told him, look, I have cash.
Oh yeah.
I was like, look, I'll have cash ready to you, 22K. I just need it inspected and ownership at Service Ontario. And he realized I'm a car guy. So and plus I came with my dad. The fuck comes with their dad to buy a car? If you come with your dad, you know, you want to buy it. Even if I don't have the money, he will think my dad has the money to buy this car for me, right? If I came 23-year-old buying Rs5, he would be like, oh, you don't have the fucking money.
Yeah.
But if I come with my dad, it's more serious.
More,
you know?
yeah, more likely.
So I passed on that car, and then after that, as much as I love that car, I decided to just stick with something brand new. So that's why I got the S3. Because I wanted to look another C43 AMG online. I found one for 40K. It was matte black, very nice. I was like, okay, 40K.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted to finance it. It would cost me $1,400. But then I called the dealership the next day. It was a Saturday. Because I was like, no more of these weird cars. I want to get a extended warranty, whatever. But the dealership's yeah, the car's been in an accident.
Oh.
They're honest. But I was like, fuck, I don't want to deal with more cars that I don't know the history of.
Yeah, that's true.
This brand new car, I know everything, what's happened to it since 800 kilometers. And before that, Audi owned it. So there's nothing wrong in this car. I know everything that's wrong with it. I know all the issues, faults, every single thing. It's just such a peace of mind.
It is, yeah.
Even if if somebody crashes me into it, I'll know the damage and extent of it, right? If I want to keep the car or not, I'll make a decision based on that.
Or do insurance fraud or something. Well, hypothetically.
No, we don't do insurance fraud.
We don't.
We don't do any fraud. We don't race. We don't.
We're not racist. We're not homophobic. We don't discriminate. We don't race cars. We don't, beat our girlfriends. We don't have girlfriends actually. So.
Yeah. So that's why I decided to stick with a brand new car. And I will the only way I would I was thinking the only way I'll buy that car is if I have 50K set aside for waste on car money. That way
50K plus the value of the car?
No, 50K.
Oh.
So I'll buy the car for 23. I would have bought that car honestly if I had 50K laying around for I just waste on car. I buy that car for 23 and I abuse it, drive it, whatever.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Then I rebuild the engine for 15K, perfect. fuck, I have a nice like dream car, but then I don't like cry about
I mean,
it.
the engine wouldn't blow up. Like, you never know.
The engine, honestly, was. I thought that car would have issues with like driving a crab.
Oh,
Like,
alignment, yeah.
Because like, first of all, I thought maybe his axle was fully
Did
like.
you see that ice cream truck the other day?
No.
I literally like waved to you. You were behind me. The ice cream truck was not just like a little bit sideways.
It was like.
It was doing a crab thing. Me and you were fucking
I
driving.
didn't see it. So like, I was worried. Like that car, like, because since he went over the curbs, like I didn't know how badly like his drivetrain, his like everything was damaged up.
Since he did insurance fraud, which what it seems like, who knows where he actually got it fixed? Because when you do insurance fraud, you do it to make money, and then you don't
sketchy
fix,
shops.
and then you don't fix the car at a good shop because
Yeah.
obviously you're trying to make money.
But the thing
That's not
is,
how you
they
make
put
money.
like Michelin Pilot Sport 4
I know,
S's
that's
on.
weird. It's just so like.
Oh, and also, sorry, now that his brakes were done.
Oh.
So like tires were brand new, but brakes were squeaking. So I knew if I buy the car, I would have to put in new rotors and new pads.
Oh, and an Rs5
Yeah, they
brake
have like.
system, that would be like. Oh, they have the big brake.
Yeah, it would be like at
Aren't they the
least.
2-piece?
Yeah, they are.
No.
So like even if I could spare the rotors, maybe. But the rear rotors I could keep, I think, but the front one needed to be changed, so it would cost me at least $1,000 to do this job. Like at least.
No, more.
Think more?
1,200 for my brakes, for my car.
Yeah, so like it would cost me like $1,500 probably for that car brakes. So like it was really like not adding up. Like the car had like shit brakes, brand new tires, very clean rims, brand new rims because like he changed all of them.
Oh yeah, cause
So no. So anyways, I'm gonna bring my story to an end now. I hope you enjoyed our little what is this, studio. We're gonna do a couple of more videos like this because I had crazy experiences selling the cars. Because then after that, like after I drove a brand new car, like I started having fear of ownership of old cars. Like I had a
bro just sold all his cars
in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just went through like a midlife crisis at 23. I was
Yeah.
like, everything gone. People were actually texting me on Instagram when I was like selling. They're like, yo, are you going through a midlife crisis? What's wrong?
What's going on?
So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If I remember everything, like something else, I'll just do like a little selfie video and we'll add it in the
You
video.
know, it kind of looks like you're selling stuff because you need money. I'm just saying.
No, but like I got this.
Okay.
Yeah, like Gone by the Weekend.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.